2. 1, 2.
They don't ask me either.
Good afternoon. How's everybody doing today? Everybody hear me all right? There's one way to make y'all real mad if y'all can't hear me, so I want to make sure you can hear me. I like a nice crowd. Thank y'all for being here. Glad we have a great turnout. My name is Rhett Hubbard. I'm your general manager. This is Ryan Kaufman, your director of agronomy. Caleb Martin, your golf course superintendent. And Craig Pullen, your director of golf. This team makes up your golf team. Right now, your golf maintenance team is about 30 employees. Your golf pro shop is about 30 employees as well. 45 part-time employees. Attaboy, Craig. All right. So these people are your personalities for your golf. I'm just your presenter. I'm going to go through some things. So we're going to talk a few things, and then we'll let you ask some questions. When you do ask questions, in the spirit of letting everybody hear, if you would make your way up to the mic, try to limit your time of your question. We'll be more than happy to answer those. So this mission statement was created about 10 years ago for your golf department by a group of homeowners and leadership. So our mission statement is to combine a strategic marketing with a quality golf experience. Competitive prices for the non-resident golfer, the best value for the homeowners with superior quality. Our vision is to be recognized as one of the premier golf courses in North Texas. Here's our agenda. So we're going to go over the South Course renovation. We'll talk about where we've been, where we're at, where we're going. We had a really great team of homeowners that got put together for an ad hoc committee for recommendations on operations for 2026. We'll review what they went through from April to about a month ago, and then we have our 2026 proposed golf rates. South Course renovation. Where have we been? So why do a master plan? The game of golf is constantly changing with new equipment, conditions, desire for faster greens. Golf courses today are looking for ways to improve, preserve their course, either with a series of smaller projects that are done over a long period of time or bigger course projects over a short period of time, all of which require a golf course master plan. A golf course is just like your refrigerator, your HVAC unit, your faucet that I can't shut off at my house in my kitchen right now that I need to replace. It has a useful life. So this document just kind of depicts the useful life that you would see on, say, greens, bunker sand, irrigation systems, and everything. So it's important to know that our south course was constructed in 2021. And then following that, golly, 2001, that's a long time. Does that sound like a long time ago to y'all, right? Sounds like a long time ago to me. And then 2002 was your west course. So you'll see with useful lives, we are approaching useful lives on all of these. Over time, greens begin to shrink. This impacts the playability of the irrigation, regarding irrigation. You notice, kind of everyone's talking about the front of the green being wet and things like that. And the largest part of the renovation that we have upcoming will be the greens and replacement of the irrigation around the greens. So golf course master plan, an evaluation was conducted on the current conditions of the course, everything from tees, fairways, greens, irrigation. From the evaluation of the golf course, the architect completed a detailed recommendation, determined what was good, how to preserve it, determined the opportunities to improve our golf course and the challenges that we need to address. Master plan was developed for short and long-term needs, and then a bid package was developed for the renovation of the south course. So here's just a quick analysis of the tees and everything that I'm reviewing now. We'll go through it kind of relatively quick, but this will be emailed out to the community, and this will be posted to our YouTube if you want to watch back live. So all this information will be readily available to you. So lack of teeable surface, tee surface becoming unlevel. Size of tee creates inefficiency for golf maintenance. Some areas of poor drainage, tee position set up the wrong angle of play. Tees have been altered from original intent. Tees are not positioned properly to preserve player groups relative to distance. Bunkers. Organic matter or silt contamination compromises the quality of the bunker sand and playing conditions. Poor drainage, poor quality of bunker sand, misplaced or unnecessary bunkers as it relates to strategy and playability of the golf course. Also, if you have fingers in bunkers or bunkers that aren't ever in play, that's another thing with maintenance. It takes longer for our team to maintain that bunker, and it's just sitting out there. Golf course master plan for greens, slope and speed, lack of available pinnable locations, poor soil structure due to ISTRIC tests. Ryan does tests on his greens a lot. What that basically means is the water flowing through the greens. What we do know with our south and west course is we have collapsed drainage pipe that's in those greens, causing areas that keep it hard for us to keep turf. Now, Ryan does a fantastic job, and you'll go, hey, Rhett, those greens are great. Well, thank you. He does a great job on those greens, but there are some areas of struggling on our greens. So they took this master plan, and they created this hole by hole. So we went hole by hole, all the areas on this. This is a 150-sheet document that's in my office. If anyone wants to review it or check it out, I'd be happy to do that. You can just reach out to me and we'll find a time for you to check that out. Master plan, the goal of the evaluation of the master plan is to thoroughly evaluate the condition of the golf course and provide the necessary documentation and information so that an informed decision can be made in regards to the planning and capital improvements that will support the long-term sustainability of our golf course and community. The community is the big thing. We got a room full of golfers and maybe non-golfers, but everyone bought into a golf course community. This golf course in top shape keeps everyone's home values rising and high, and we want to make sure we take care of that investment. How will this be paid? So it's important to go back and you look at this. The question is, why won't the developer pay for this? Well, this is an over 25-year-old asset that we have. If you come to board meetings, the HOA's responsibility is to own, manage, and maintain the assets within this community. So just as we would replace the HVAC units in here, potentially the carpet in this room, the chandeliers through your reserve, the golf course is the same way. We will replace that through your reserve fund that's been built up since 2019. So the reserve funds currently has about $4.5 to $5.2 million per course identified for course renovation. And I think that's important to know. If we were going to do the entire just irrigation, say, on the south course, That alone would be $4 to $6 million. So the renovation that we're doing, while we're attacking important strategic things, we're not doing the Disneyland renovation that would be about $10 to $12 million per course. We're choosing the things that we need to improve in order to protect the asset, and we're going to do those things. So of course, South Course is in 2026. West Course is currently planned for 2028, and the golf courses are the largest asset, replacement asset that we have in reserve, to the tune of $14 million, roughly $14 million out of $28 million in assets. So about half of your assets that we have here are related to the golf course. So course renovation overview. Renovation includes most infrastructure upgrades, strategic redesigns to improve both playability and the maintenance. Project is being led by the Robson team in collaboration with Landscapes Unlimited. We had a really good bidding process. 4 companies bid to do the job. We chose Landscapes Unlimited for price, location. They're based out of Flower Mound, and the courses that they've completed, which are a lot of high-end courses around here: Brook Hollow, Dallas National, Oklahoma Golf and Country Club, just to name a few. South Course renovation, South 1 through 9 in the chipping green. We're going to do core removal. Existing greens will be cored out. Material will be hauled off. Recontouring, definitely a drainage upgrade. Reconstructions. Greens will be rebuilt following USGA green construction standards. It's important to know wasn't built in 2021, like I said earlier, but 2001. So standards have definitely changed just in any construction industry within that amount of time. And then grass reinstallation. Greens will be resprigged with Tiff Eagle, Ultra Dwarf Bermuda. Tees and surrounds, of course, South 1 through 9, all tees and surrounds are regraded. Enlargement, T-tops rebuilt and enlarged based on golfer usage analysis from the master plan, especially our par 3s. We've noticed the teeable locations aren't enough, so they'll be a lot bigger. Drainage, again, and then construction materials, tees constructed using the same organic mix as the north 2 through 8. Bunkers. Redesigned some bunkers, added, removed, and relocated. We're going to visually enhance some of the bunkers, select faces raised to improve visibility from tees and fairways. Sand removal and reinstallation. This will be the first projects that we start, which will begin in November 18th, 2025. In order to save some money, and we tested this out last year, is to recycle our bunker sand. So what that will look like is taking our bunkers, removing all of the sand, bringing it up to the Wild Horse Grill parking lot in the back, and there's a machine. It basically filters the sand through, removing the silt and sediment, and then you have nice clean sand. After we have nice clean sand, we'll re-deliver that sand back to the hole, and then we'll pile it up in the bunker on the south course, and those bunkers will be played as ground under repair. Irrigation system. 1 through 9, chipping green, North 1, and driving range. Well, Rhett, why North 1? Well, North 1, as I talked to some people before, North 1 was constructed when the South Course was constructed. That hole sat there for almost 20 years before it was used, so it has some of the same irrigation that was installed on the South and West Course, so it also needs to be taken care of. The greens, new greens loops and head relocation. Tees, new swing joints and sprinkler heads will be installed. Main lines were rerouted around tees to avoid interference with T-tops. New lateral mainline gate valve saddles and mainline isolation valves replaced. You have to be an irrigation specialist to know what all that means. And then sprinklers, entire South Course will have brand new sprinkler heads. Even I know what that means. So, and then controllers. So our controllers are out there. You see green Toro boxes all around. Of course, over the years, Toro has better boxes that work with cellular service that are going to improve kind of the irrigation management. So those new controllers will start being installed in November of 2025. Include station renumbering and add-in station cards for precise single head control. Timeline highlights. So Monday, November 17, 2025, mobilization of sand saver equipment and silt collection weir. Tuesday, they'll begin, and will be done by our team. We'll begin the bunker sand recycling, if you will. And so November 2025 to February 2026, the sand will be reinstalled, not fully spreaded in the bunkers, just to ensure that we're not recontaminating it with silt as the renovation goes on around those bunkers. Winter, spring 2026, in-house tilling and fine grading of fairways and roughs, in-house tie-ins for paths, drain lines, and irrigation, and in-house prep for sprigging and sodding. So really the three main tasks that Ryan and his team are going to do in regards to this renovation are the help with the bunker sand recycling, installation of new controllers, and then the tilling of the fairways and prep for sprigging of those fairways. Every other task will be performed by Landscapes Unlimited. Primary turf grass. We'll be installing a Tahoma 31 on the tees, fairways, roughs, and green surround. It ended up being about 40 acres of sod, give or take, that we're going to be doing this installation on. It's important to know we already are using this grass on the driving range. So when we had the winter storm in 2021, that we had winter kill with trees and also grass, we replanted this. This sod is out of OSU. Caleb is an Oklahoma guy. That's not why we chose it, but it just kind of ties in. But it's a drought-resistant grass. It's really hardy and significant upgrade for overall turf. It has more lateral growth. Fumble. All right, greens expansion. Surface area is increased by 11%. It's also just important to know over time your greens will shrink, and our greens have done that over time. So we'll increase that service by 11%. Tee service expansion, adding 20,000 square feet of tee space, approximately 30% increase in total teeable area with a focus on par threes. This is going to be a big project. What it will take is in February, at the beginning of February, your south course will be closed. Your south course will reopen right around October 15th of 2026. Okay, it will remain cart path only through about April, and then it'll be good to go for that entire time. What we'll be looking to do is we'll start planting sprigging grass and planting grass late May, early June, and then that grow-in period will be that June to October time period, and then we'll be open and ready to rock and roll. Rhett, what if you miss that time period? Well, if you miss that time period, the course won't open until April. You might have a new general manager, and we're just not going to talk about that. We're going to hit our time. All right, so seems pretty straightforward. We're really excited to work with Landscapes Unlimited. They're known, and when we kind of discuss people they've done work for, really good communicators, really good at hitting time, really good at hitting budget. So we are very excited about that. Questions regarding the golf course renovation? If you do have a question, if you would just come up to this microphone, try to limit your questions to a couple minutes, and then we'll be happy to answer that.
My name is David Holmes. You mentioned that the new Toro controllers work off cellular. There are places in the property where I don't get good cellular service. We need to check and make sure it's going to work where these are located.
Well, we already have some in action on the north side. The west side of our community is the best side of our community right now for cellular service. Verizon has a new tower going up in about a month to 3 months on the west side of our property. We haven't had any issues with them on the north side. Thank you. Good question.
Could you give us some examples of bunkers that are being added or removed?
also, there's another bunker going to be installed in front of the green, in between where the bunker on the right is right now currently, and between the green there's going to be another one installed there. So there's going to be, I believe, 3 bunkers on that hole installed, and 3 of them are removed on that hole. And then the other big one is number 9 south. We're going to remove the one at the green on the right side, just because the playability of that hole, the handicap on that hole. So it's going to open up that right side a little bit more. And then number 8 on the right side, the first, right next to the tree, there's a hill on the where you land. There's going to be a bunker on the right side on number 8 south added.
Awesome. Thank you, Ryan. Great question.
Hi, my name is Bill Hayes. I was reading something earlier that said that the bunkers are going to be redone to some kind of new grade, I don't know, of some type, but do you pour the sand back in and take it back out to redo the bunkers, or I'm confused?
So the bunkers are actually going to be, the sand's going to be removed from them by hand or by shovel, and then we'll wash the sand down to the bottom with the water hose. Then we'll remove that. And then on a lot of the faces, so you can see them from the tees, the fairways, there's some faces out there that Gary Brawley's going to add like a foot to them, a foot of soil behind them, and we're going to raise the face a little bit so you can see them a little bit better. Example would be, I know one that visually sticks out is west number 8, the left bunker on west 8. That one, when we get to the west, we're going to increase the face on that one so you can actually see it from the tee box, because right now it's invisible out there. So that's what he was looking for, is areas out there when he was playing, so you can see the top of the bunker. The actual bunker is going to still be Better Billy bunker, which is a gravel. It's a gravel about 2 inches thick, and they put a polymer on top, a glue, and it's permeable for the water to go through, and that holds your sand up. So that's why we have to keep 4 inches on the faces of these bunkers. But it's technically, or essentially, the same exact process what we did in 2014. So that's when the bunkers were originally replaced, and that was all in-house except for the polymer being applied. So they're 10 years old right now. So we're about to go on the 11th year on the south. So they've performed very well.
Thank you, Ryan. Good question. Thank you, sir.
This is Bob Kriz. Y'all mentioned that the chipping area is going to be renovated with the south course. Is anything going to be cut into the hill where that side of the chipping area can be used more for chipping, or what's going to happen at the chipping area?
The chipping green, we're essentially going to take some of the mounding out of the chipping green. We're not going to cut into anything on the side of the hill because the amount of work that would have to take place back there. There's a main line and whatnot on the backside as well that have to be relocated. We are going to, on the right side towards the putting green, make that a lot flatter over there. We were looking at it today with Gary. And just really the putting green itself, we're going to try to flatten up. More usable areas.
Thank you, Ryan.
Mike Gilberti. What is the total cost to renovate the South Course?
Right now, it's budgeted at $4.5 million.
And that money is coming from the reserve fund now?
Correct.
And there's enough money in the reserve fund to cover that cost?
Correct.
And any additional work that we had planned for this year?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And we'll review that in its entirety in the financial state of the HOA on the 23rd for anyone who would like to attend, and then again on November 6th for the annual board meeting.
Now, that's the total cost for this year or for the whole course?
For that's just the South Course, $4.5 million what we have budgeted right now. For the West Course, we have $5.5 million budgeted for that renovation.
Eventually, in a couple of years.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
The name is Bali. Short.
Hi, Bali.
First, liked everything I heard. Very nice. And thanks for taking a lot of our suggestions. I know we've had a lot of discussions around all the improvements and everything else. One thing I wanted to ask that you didn't mention, maybe for Ryan, South Greenside bunker. It hardly any sand, it's hard, balls don't hold, it goes in the water. Anything you're
I
gonna
think
do?
he's talking about North 9.
South 9, Greenside
South 9.
bunker. Any improvements you're gonna make to that, I would love to hear it.
We hadn't technically looked at on North 9, we're looking at adding some rock over there and increasing the height so it's a flatter bunker. Over there on South 9, we hadn't looked at any of that. The bunker on South 9, essentially what we're going to be doing is taking the sand out of it and just washing it, reinstalling it, and fixing some of the areas around or that have the better billy bunker. The same thing as on North 9, that bunker it's a super tight window in between the edge of the green and the lake, so the steeper that causes the steepness of the bunker, and so that's why your ball wants to roll to the left on that one.
Any other questions regarding the south course or west course renovation at this time?
Good afternoon, I'm Lee Griswold, and we're all excited. I've been a part of the Golf and Greens Committee and seen all of this, but there was something in your PowerPoint in discussing the renovation that had work on North 1, which we haven't discussed in any of our committees. Is North 1 going to be playable next year?
Yes.
Go into details of what you're doing there, because that's the bunker part we talked about was North 9, trying to do that with the south renovation. So there's some new information. We need clarity on what is the playability of North 1 going to be next year? Are we down to 17 holes?
No, grass-wise, nothing's going to come out of North 1. It's all going to be irrigation heads, so it's going to take about a week total, and we'll do it in sections to accommodate that area.
All right, if no more questions, and if one comes up here later, by all means. All right, so Golf and Greens Ad Hoc, and I want to go back in time. We did have another committee that helped us out of homeowners with the golf course renovation subcommittee. So just if anyone is on that subcommittee of the golf course renovation, can you all stand up as well and let us kind of acknowledge you if you're on the golf course? All right, Golf and Greens Ad Hoc. Now, if you might be standing up again, but if you were a member of the ad hoc, here's all the names, and in lieu of reading them all off, if you would just stand up and be recognized if you were a part of this committee. This committee, it was a good time. If you were in February or March when we did the other golf forum, we knew that we weren't always going to agree. We knew that we were going to have to think critically for us all to be on the same page. And it was a good challenge for me. I learned a lot. Learned how to work with a bunch of different people and a bunch of opinionated people. We don't have those in this community at all. And it worked real good. That committee was headed up by Doug Shea, and Doug did a fantastic job of kind of herding us cats and getting us all into the same zone. And I appreciate every member of that committee and all their input that they put in to get us here. So what did we do together as that committee? We determined association play dates. That took up a bulk of about a month or two, just getting everyone online regarding association play dates. Determined review of line item budgets, reviewed analysis to determine 2026 rounds. The subcommittee and operations recommended 56,000 rounds. The amount of available rounds we played on 18 holes was 94,000 rounds. It's important to know, well, how many do we play on our 27 holes this year? We're projected to play about 70,000 rounds here. So it's not too big of a fall off if you think about that. That's 14,000 rounds of difference. What we wanted to let everyone know, there will be rounds available. You will be able to play golf in 2026. Reviewed driving range rates, recommended some rate increases in January and July. recommended daily rates. There was a recommendation agreed upon by the ad hoc committee of a 4% increase across the board, but we did lower twilight rates. Reviewed the current unlimited annual and play card structure along with daily rates, and we'll discuss those in the following slides. Non-resident daily rates, been doing really good. Here's your current rates, 2025 working down in this column, and then you'll see the 2026 rates here for non-residents. Operations, we're a little bit different here. We ended up going with the $52 number for the after 5 p.m., but everything else we were pretty much in lockstep with. Proposed daily rates for residents. You will see those 4% increases here, and I think it's important to know, residents, there is no prime time weekend rates. I mean, there's prime time, but no difference between weekend, a Monday rate, and a Saturday rate for residents. So here's your 2025 rates, your 2026 rates. The big one is we want to continue to encourage play after 2 o'clock. So we're at $55. Now we're at $44. Twilight after 5 was $45, now down to $32. And the big one. All right, so we carried this 4% here with your first resident annual, $4,400 to $4,575. All right, and this is kind of the big thing that we've been talking about, annual rates and things like that for a long time, since about 2020. And we always got hung up on potentially doing a 100-round play card because of the break-even rate in your annual. Everyone would go, my break-even rate is 67 rounds for an annual. And we were like, how can we do that? Well, how can you do that is you give 461 golfers a better deal in 2026 is how you do it if you're in the annual structure. So when we were looking at annual golfers that play between 76 and 100 times, that amount of golfers was 103 golfers golf between 76 and 100 times. That golfer was paying $4,400 this year. That golfer can pay will pay, it's proposed, but it will pay $4,200 in 2026. Same thing, annual golfers who golfed under 75 times were 65 golfers, paid for an annual, golfed under. That golfer, that 65, that golfer is going to save $800 in 2026. And then to make everything flow through, we had to adjust pricing for gold, silver, and 10 punch. And you'll see those adjustments made here below. Non-residents, cart is not included. 5,100 and 4,600, their card is $20 a time, correct? Yes. And then the bronze play card for non-residents here at $2,900, $2,975. That was quick, so questions? How many non-residents? Right now there's 20 non-residents that have annual memberships. 20. We want to keep that number, we don't want that number to grow really above 20. Why don't you want it to grow above 20? We have 60 rental carts. You saw the rates for people that pay daily fee. They're going to come out and pay $133 if they're golfing in prime time. We want to have cart availability for those individuals that come in as a non-resident to play. We also want to have carts available at 2 o'clock in the afternoon for that afternoon group of non-residents that come in and fill those tee times. So you want to keep that price going up to limit those to about 20. We were budgeted at 17. We got to 20, I think, about a month ago. So we want to continually adjust that cart. That is a conversation we have. There is a certain amount of revenue we know we obtain from non-residents, And so there is discussions both way or the other. I mean, there was the discussion, do we need non-resident annuals? Do we want them? What changes do we want to make? Do we want to convert those to play cards right now? This is how we're proceeding forward for 2026, but I know there will be additional discussions as we lead into 2027.
So there's been many rental cards?
60. Yes, sir.
Rep, how many outside golf outings do you plan on having next year?
How many outside golf outings do we plan on having? Are you talking about tournaments or just? Tournaments. So tournaments, we will have the same schedule of tournaments that we've always had, minus the high schools and colleges in 2026. So we will not obtain any new outings. So if they are booked or a regularly repeat client, they will be coming back, and we will continue to host that tournament. The high schools, we are not going to host those, and colleges, we won't host those for 2026. Why? Because of average price per round for high school golfers, we wanted to limit that somehow. And what we do know about our colleges and our high schools, we have ongoing long-term relationship with them. We know we can obtain their business again in 2027 and 2029 and 2030 if we so choose to. Some of these other benefit-style tournaments that we generate good revenue off of with both golf and food and beverage, we know that if we let them go away for 1 year without coming, we might not be able to reobtain that business. So it takes a while to build golf business up, and so we don't want to continue to limit that. So what we have done is artificially limit our tournament revenue. We haven't grown our tournament revenue unless someone wants to play on January 15th. We'll sell that tournament, or July 31st, we'll sell that tournament. But in our Octobers, our Septembers, our Mays, our Marches, we do not sell tournaments in those areas, and that's been kind of the same way since about 2020. Craig sold too many tournaments in 2020. He's the only guy getting in trouble for generating revenue. So we have other strategies that we employ to generate revenue rather than really trying to pick up additional outings. It's really because the cart is not included. I think we just got carried away with an asterisk. Thank you for noticing that, but I don't think that's going to mean anything.
The asterisks are, you're right, it's the cart fee is not included in that. It's different on the non-resident annual because they pay, well, cart fee is whatever it's going to be on the other page that you had. I remember, I think it was $18 for residents and $25 for non-residents. But the non-resident annual asterisk down there for their cart fee is $20 if they're riding by themselves. If they're riding with another non-resident, they pay $10.
But I got 3 up at the top and 3 down here too, so, I mean, it's a good point.
They're non-transferable. They have 3.
Okay.
If they have 2, you can, your spouse or share.
Oh, for the play card?
Okay, we'll get it. Just let her finish so I can understand the rest. So if they're 3, that means your rounds of golf in that are non-transferable. If there's 2, such as in your play cards, and we can transfer those to the platinum and diamond, you can share those with a household member. So the 2 means I can share if I have a gold card and I have 50 rounds and me and Ryan go out and I have the card and I want Ryan to take one of my rounds on that card, I will gladly give Ryan the round and that will be deducted from my card. That will be the same on the diamond and the platinum. We'll make sure to add those asterisks there. Thank you, Ms. Parker, for letting us know that.
When you have golf now, how many rounds are you going to allow them and what times of day are you going to have that?
Well, I'm going to allow Golf Now to book as many rounds as they have available to book. We will continue to have some form or fashion of what I call our Tee Time Take Back program. So what our Tee Time Take Back program is, on non-association play days, we reserve 3 times currently in the morning. We'll just say it's 8:30, 9:30, and 10:30 for a non-resident to obtain that round. okay? And a non-resident can book that on non-association play days. We are losing a day next year, so we might expand that to 4 tee times or even 5 to do that. What has that done for us? Well, currently, our revenue is better than budget by $60,000. Currently, your golf department, as of the end of August, it has only lost $22,000. They were budgeted to lose $270,000 by this time. A lot of that is due to those tee times, which helps us not put pressure on annuals and not want to sell a lot of outings. So that tee time take back, and it limits disruption. You see a trunk slammer. I don't like calling them that. I like calling them guests. But you see a guest out there, and you're like, how'd they get the tee time? Well, it's a part of that program. So that program will remain intact. How many tee times and what that look like, we know we're not going to take more than 1 per hour. So if it does expand to 4, say it's 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, and like that. But then Golf Now will also be able to sell any of those open tee times in the afternoon that they would sell. And the other thing with those tee time take back, they can book those on Golf Now, or we've had a lot of luck with them calling in the shop and just calling in the shop on a Monday trying to obtain a tee time on a Friday morning, and that tee time is booked. Right now we're booking over 50% of those times. If those times are not booked by 12 p.m. the day prior to that, that is just opened up. We are accordioning down. It doesn't go unsold. That ends up being a resident who obtains that time. So it's been a very successful program for us, and we'll continue that in some fashion because it took a while for it to catch hold with the market understanding that they could regularly obtain a tee time out here, be it very few, but it has helped increase our price per round. Our price per round average for a non-resident right now is $89 altogether. So that's good. And anyone who books those times in those mornings, it's not a deal. It's whatever the rack rate is. So if it's 133, it'll be 133. Currently on a weekday, I think it's 117. That's what they'd book on a weekday. Yes. The question is, could we anticipate the competitiveness in the Chelsea tee times as it comes to requests? And I'll throw that to our director of golf.
I don't know. I don't think it's going to be too much different than what it is now. If you look, we're going to have, again, days where, like the association days, for example, will be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just like they are this year. We will alternate having shotgun starts on association days. So, for example, what's today? Tuesday. So WGA played this morning as well as the 9-hole men. The 9-hole men next year will play on Wednesday along with the 9-hole ladies. So the WGA would play in the morning at 8:30, do a shotgun for them at 8:30 in the morning, and they would turn around at 1 o'clock or 1:30 and do a shotgun for all the homeowners. And so your competitiveness would be 36 groups, 144 players having the availability to play that afternoon, and all getting to finish before dark. And the same thing would happen on Wednesday, but let me back up. So Tuesday we do that, and then the next week the homeowners would have an 8:30 shotgun, and the WGA would play at 1:30. So they'll alternate every other week. So the homeowners aren't always stuck in the afternoon in their shotguns. And so same thing for the 9-hole ladies and the 9-hole men on Wednesday. One week they're going to tee off at 8 or 8:30 in the morning, and then the next week they'll go in the afternoon. And the same thing for the MGA on Thursday. They'll play in the morning one week and the afternoon the next week.
And this is during the cooler months. So as soon as we hit June through mid-September, when it's 100 degrees, then all associations would remain in the mornings, and we'd follow that with afternoon shotguns.
Question?
Yeah, can we go back to using the mic, though? We're going to get...
You know who I am.
Hello, Chris.
So, men's 9-hole will play on Tuesday or Wednesday morning, and the women's too, right?
Correct.
Will there be 2 tee times for each group, and you just swap back and forth, or are we not going to have 2 tee times like we do now?
So yes, the talk was they would have 2 tee times.
Okay.
And then there would be, again, a 1 o'clock or 1:30 shotgun in the afternoon for the homeowners.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we wanted to
Good question.
really still make, I mean, that's why we took a long time when talking about association play within the ad hoc. We wanted to make sure we weren't really limiting any one association from being able to golf. There's a lot of golfers in the Niners. We don't want to limit that for men's or women's Niners.
Susan, you had a question?
Yes, please. It's just better that way.
Hi, my name is Susan, and I want to go back to for something that you said about Chelsea request. Now, when this goes in to, we start doing this, the request that we do now, is it going to be harder to get a request, or is it going to be the same as it is now? Like when you request for a weekend, you know, you request 2 weeks ahead, are we going to be able to get those same times that we're getting now? Is there going to be a difference?
The request window will be the same. Now, since we have 18 holes instead of 27, there will be less tee times to choose from. So I guess in that it might be harder, but as for your booking windows and how long you can request and the point system and everything else, that will all remain the same.
So the point system is going to stay the same?
Correct.
Yes, the point system would all stay the same.
Correct, yes. Point system will remain the same.
Rob Wagner. So you've talked a lot about the renovation of the South, and then you're moving into the West. You've talked about the budget and the timeline. A couple questions. As a resident on a golf course, one of the biggest concerns I have as an owner, and there's probably a lot of owners here that live on the course, is how disruptive is this going to be to those that are looking out at beautiful courses right now? Are we going to see machines? Are we going to have one hole done at a time? Are we going to have multiple crews? You know, those kind of things that are non-tangibles to the things that you're covering here is the environment that we're going to all live in.
You will see machines. It will be a little bit of disruption, but it's short disruption. It's only really 4 months of time. So you're looking at really your main disruption is going to be February through April, end of April, and then everything will be prepared for sod. But there will be machinery out there. There will be excavators that will excavate all the materials out of the greens, haul off all of the things, and then we'll haul back into those greens. That's going to be your biggest area of focus will be around the greens. Of course, there will be, you know, minor grading of tee boxes and changing of irrigation heads. That's not much disruption. And then we will be doing the tilling of the fairways, and that will be one hole at a time when we're tilling up those fairways and prepping it for sod.
Okay, and the reason I ask that is because the bocce ball courts are something that I know have been a long project. What are some of the biggest things? Maybe that's an understatement.
The biggest difference, and not to cut you off, the biggest difference between the bocce courts and this project is this project's run by the people sitting in this room. So we'll have direct control over this project. You will be able to call me, and I will be able to give you realistic timelines on what's going to happen and be able to discuss everything.
And I appreciate that, Red. What are the contingencies or the risks that you guys have identified when things go wrong?
Well,
and how will that extend potentially a project that can be reduced if it's anticipated?
Well, the risks are limited. Of course, you could run into a utility that none of us know is there. That could be a big risk. The other biggest risk that we know is the excavation of the greens. How much material is in the greens? Are we having to go down 2 feet or 18 inches like we planned or farther? And those are kind of the risks that could, the biggest risk is greens excavation with us. No, excavation, the removing of the material. The irrigation shouldn't be much of a curveball. Go ahead, Ryan.
Irrigation is straightforward. The parts that we've identified that we're going to remove, we're going to replace those, and then the greens loop, we're going to get a brand new greens loop. And so the irrigation is not a risk. The biggest risk, we built in weather days in there, and I would say that would be the biggest risk in when you start looking at when sprigs go down and whatnot.
Yeah, we really have a short window to look at, and we've done this a little bit before. I mean, the developer was in control, but Ryan was very hands-on. I was aware of what was going on when we did the north course, so we have some experience in this area. We know what to look for errors and stuff that could potentially go wrong. We sprigged about as late as we were able to the last time, and a little bit after in about mid-July for North 8. So we understand the windows that we want to hit and kind of what worst case scenario would be sprigging after July 4th. And so we don't want to hit that date. We want to make sure we're on time and under budget. And with Ryan and Craig and Caleb and their teams, and we are confident we'll be able to do that.
Chuck. Ryan, one of the questions is whether or not the sand traps are going to get as much water as they do now, or are they going to be a lot more limited in how much water we get on the sand traps in the fronts of the greens, or the fronts around the greens?
Definitely on the greens, the problem's going to be solved just because the head spacing around the greens currently, if any of y'all were in the golf and greens many years ago, the greens, the head spacings are off. And so that's one of the things that we're going to fix during this renovation. On the bunkers, these fabrics, the materials, the Better Billy bunker, there's always a perched water table in these bunkers that want to hold a little bit of moisture in them and want to build like I guess you would say like an algae layer about an inch underneath them. And this is all the sands that are out there on the market, unless you get into these super fluffy sands that become projectiles when the wind blows out here. That's another reason why we have the sand that we have, and they've performed well over the last 10 years, is the type of sand, so it doesn't move out of the bunker during these windstorms.
Thank you, Ryan. Any other questions? Yes.
Brett, will we get a copy of this, or will it be posted?
Yes, it will be posted on the website and emailed out in my next communication. So I plan on sending an email out before the end of the week. It will be in there in its entirety. Yes.
Now let me get this straight. One family can buy a diamond member 100 rounds for $4,200 and share it.
Correct. It's the same with the 50 and the 25. Nothing changes with our play card structure.
Brett, would you explain to them that's without tax? They'll stop to pay tax on those.
All of these do not have tax. Thank you, Val. All right, so when you walk out the room, I have some handouts on a table back there. It's some incentives for each of these, what kind of play card you get for if you get an unlimited annual or a diamond, all the way down if you would look at that. As a homeowner, what incentives you get for just a play card for your driving range, a range card, should I say, a range card, what benefits you would get if you choose that. Of course, Craig will start the sale of annuals in December for that, and I have another question right here I want to get to you.
Quickly, because you mentioned range cards, on your previous slide you said we're having an increase 2 times next year. Can you talk about
Correct. So in January, the driving range will, for a bucket of balls will increase by 8%, which is effectively $1. And then again, in the proposal is, in January it's 16%, which is $2. Then we have a proposed rate increase in July, which would be 8%, which would be $1. So there's a potential to have a $3 increase by the time we get to July for range balls. But there is some deals for you as a homeowner back there that you could purchase if you purchase a range card. Yes, sir.
On Chelsea request, does the annual get any benefit over a diamond member or a platinum or a gold?
No. All play cards are in the first bucket. So if you are a 10 punch or an unlimited annual, you have the same chance to obtain a prime your choice tee time. That's something we did 3 years ago to incentivize the play card structure to buy into the play card, so you would get that. If you are a resident and you're just going daily fee, you would be what we call the second bucket. So any play card would be in that first bucket of availability, and any person just booking a daily fee would be in that second. Yes, sir.
Yeah, is there any chance we can change the Chelsea system to reflect biceps on the golf course? That way, if I don't want to be behind a bicep, I can change my tee time. Right now, I have no clue whether there's a bicep out there or not.
It's regarding a fivesome. He said, is there any way that the Chelsea system can be changed so if I'm booking something, I can see I'm booking behind a fivesome? Currently, you can't tell that.
So currently, you can't book as a fivesome on the tee sheet. So
it's allowed to play that way?
So we will allow fivesomes at times in the afternoons, typically after 1 o'clock. And if there are times that we may allow a fivesome prior to that, but you can't book a fivesome on the tee sheet. There's not 5 spaces on the tee sheet to book it.
At the end of the day, I mean, there was a
You
bicep
would,
played
Kevin, you
today.
wouldn't know it. Yeah, you wouldn't know that because most of the time it's a situation where the group that showed up had 2 tee times and 10 people showed up, and so they went off as 2 fivesomes. But it would be a last minute call, and there's times where we've said no, you can't do it today, and so 2 of those people in that group didn't get to play, or they played later. We tried to work them in with another group, another twosome somewhere else. But you can't book a fivesome on the tee sheet. There's only 4 slots. So, but to your question, you wouldn't know that. And we wouldn't know that ahead of time. It's usually going to be that 10, 15-minute window of before their tee time that they find out they've got more. Somebody showed up that they didn't think was coming.
See, that's the problem, because you can't manage it. You can't manage it.
Well, I think he is attempting to manage it by either telling the person, sorry, you can't play today, or saying, hey, we're going to allow to play. And I think it is a kind of a management operational call when we're attempting to do that. I know we're attempting to serve homeowners when they're doing that, and when someone shows up with a guest or another homeowner and we got an odd man out, we're trying to find ways to accommodate. And I understand that might affect you negatively, and so we'll keep that in mind as we proceed forward when we come and encounter those challenges.
I've noticed we've lost many trees out there on the fairways. The ones we haven't lost aren't healthy, some of them. What can we do to increase the probability of having some shade at some point on this tree?
Nothing. I mean, I don't want to say that, but there really is nothing that we can do to increase the probability of shade. Some of those live oaks you're looking at are 22 years old, 23 years old. Our water quality and our soil are just not conducive for live oaks. Name the tree, Ryan can name all the trees. I just use our boulevard as an example. Those are 25-year-old live oaks. Those don't look like 25-year-old live oaks are on our boulevard. Our water quality, Ryan could go all day on it. I can let him. Do you want to speak to that? We will continue. That's the reason you see a lot of those Brody cedars that we planted. We've seen that those are winter resistant. Those work well with our water. I don't think they're ever going to create too much shade unless you just stand in the shade in the perfect sunlight. But we do struggle with, live oak was our tree of choice, and then 2021 came around and we had the winter freeze, and then we lost a lot of live oak. So it is a challenge. I know the developer planted umpteen trees when we developed this course early on. I think Carl Owens can kind of speak to that, and we lost a lot of those. So it is a challenge this side of the highway, growing trees, and that's kind of our course, unfortunately. Yes, sir.
Joe Provenzano. Annuals don't have to check in. Is there any change to the procedures and things
that
like
will
that?
change. Thank you. So on association play days, no, you don't have to go in the pro shop to check in. But beginning next year in January, annuals will need to check in on non-association play days in the pro shop. In the pro shop. The benefit of checking in the pro shop is, and this was discussion in the ad hoc committee and golf and greens as well. Well, there's one benefit in the shop. We know that you're coming in, and we know that you are who you say you are, and that you're playing. It's a system of accountability. The other thing is, you're going to walk in the pro shop. You could touch a shirt or a hat, and you could buy something. This is something to understand. This is something that we did prior to the pandemic. This is just a return to normalcy. It took 5 years. Now, there's nothing worse than a temporary solution. It kind of turns permanent. So to take this back, and again, it's not on association play days. It's just a walk in the shop. Once the shop knows your name, they'll say, "Hey, Steve, thanks for coming in. We got you down." And that helps us as a pro shop build a relationship with our clients, continue to enhance that golf experience for you. And again, it's not going to be on your association play days. It's not going to be on your afternoon shotguns that are on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next year, but it will be on your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and potentially Monday before you tee off, just to come in the shop, check in, and go from there. So it won't be an overwhelming 50 people showing up before. If you are on the range and you take 2 hours to warm up, just come in 2 hours before your round, say, "Hey, I'm going to golf." If you show up 5 minutes before your round, like I do, and don't warm up, you just go in the shop 5 minutes before your round, say, "Hey, I'm going out at 11:02, and then you just move on your way. Any other questions? Maybe? Nope. If no other questions, thank you for your time. We are always here and available for you to ask any questions. Thank you so much.